Okay, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about millionaires, the fancy cars, the mansions, the Instagram lifestyle, is basically a lie? Today, we are diving deep into the book, The Next Millionaire Next Door, to find out what it actually takes to build real wealth.
No, seriously, take a second. When I say the word millionaire, what's the very first image that flashes in your mind? Got it? Okay, good. Hold on tight to that image because we are about to completely flip it on its head. I'm willing to bet it's something kind of like this, right? High-end designer brands, a super fast sports car, maybe a sprawling house in some ritzy neighborhood. I mean, it's the image we're sold everywhere, on social media, in the movies, and to be honest, it's what I used to picture too. It's the great American fantasy of wealth. And that brings us perfectly to our first big idea here, the millionaire myth. We're going to take that image you just conjured up, and we're going to deconstruct it piece by piece. Because the research shows, it shows it's almost entirely a fantasy. Think about that for a second. Our culture screams at us that to be rich, you have to look rich. Wealth is all about the stuff you can buy, the things you can show off. But what if real wealth has nothing to do with what you spend and everything to do with what you don't spend?
So it's time to pull back the curtain and meet the real millionaires. And look, this isn't just guesswork. This is all based on decades of solid research, in-depth interviews, and just cold, hard data. And trust me on this, reality is so much more surprising than fiction. All right, let's start with an easy one, the car. It's the ultimate status symbol, we all know that. So, what's parked in the driveway of the typical American millionaire? A Ferrari, maybe a Bentley, or a top-of-the-line Mercedes?
No way! Get a load of this list. The top 3 most popular car brands for millionaires are Toyota, Honda, and Ford. I'm not kidding. And this isn't like their second car they use for errands. This is their main car. This one piece of data right here just blows the whole myth right out of the water.
That's absolutely wild, isn't it? It just flips the entire script. What this data is really screaming at us is that for most millionaires, wealth has nothing to do with showing off. It's about buying financial freedom. And a super flashy car, that's just a giant monthly payment that keeps you chained to your job.
Oh, I love this quote. It just completely shatters that get-rich-quick fantasy we all hear about. Building wealth isn't some huge, dramatic, overnight thing. The book makes it crystal clear. Becoming a millionaire is the result of quiet, consistent, and honestly, pretty boring habits that you practice for decades.
And what about inheritance? You know, that old myth that you have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth? Just forget it. The research shows that only 21% of millionaires received any inheritance at all. Let that sink in. The vast majority, we're talking nearly 8 out of 10, are completely self-made. They started from zero.
Which leads us to what is honestly the most empowering part of this whole discussion. If becoming wealthy isn't about luck, and it's not about family money, then what is it about? Well, it turns out it's all about a set of repeatable behaviors. It's about your habits.
So the book kind of splits people into 2 main groups. On one hand, you have prodigious accumulators of wealth. Let's just call them PAWs. These people are geniuses at turning their income into actual wealth. They play amazing financial defense. Then you've got the under-accumulators of wealth, or UAWs. These folks might earn a huge salary, but they have almost no net worth to show for it. They're all about offense, making more money, but they have no defense, so the money just flows right out the door. As you hear that, which one do you think you lean towards?
And this story, wow, this story gets right to the heart of the millionaire mindset. So a woman is gifted $8 million in stock. What's her reaction? Does she book a trip around the world? Nope. She says, "I appreciate this," and then gets right back to clipping 25-cent coupons at her kitchen table. For her, being frugal wasn't a chore she had to do to get rich, it was just part of who she was.
So it really all boils down to these key behaviors. Living well below your means, that's number 1, hands down. A whopping 70% of millionaires say they have always been frugal. They don't just wing it with their money, they actually spend hours every month planning their financial future. And, their idea of fun doesn't have to be expensive. The book calls them cheap dates. It's a completely different way of living.
But this whole thing goes even deeper. It's not just about what these people do, it's about how they think. This is what the book calls the freedom mindset.
This, right here, is the single biggest mental shift you have to make. The goal isn't a bigger house or a fancier car.
The real goal is to own your life, to have complete control of your time, to wake up in the morning and decide what you want to do that day without being forced to work for a paycheck. That's the real prize.
This data is so revealing. I mean, look at this. A city like San Francisco has the highest cost of living, but it's way down the list when it comes to emotional well-being. That is the status trap in action. You're trading your future freedom and, apparently, your current happiness just for the privilege of living in a high-status zip code. The millionaires next door understand that this is a terrible, terrible trade.
I absolutely love this concept, the Go to Hell Fund. It's not just savings, it's power. It means having enough money in the bank so that if your boss is making your life miserable or wants you to move to a city you hate, you have the absolute freedom to look them in the eye and say, well, you get the idea. That's real wealth.
Wow, this one really hit me. The book's #1 rule for raising successful, productive kids, it's not about teaching them to invest. It's not about giving them a trust fund. It is never tell your children that you're wealthy. And why is that? Because the real inheritance they want to pass on is a good work ethic and discipline, not a sense of entitlement.
Okay, so we've debunked the myths, we've learned the habits, but now we get to the most important question. What does all of this mean for you? How do you actually take your first step on this path?
Well, the book gives us a super simple practical tool to start with. It's the expected net worth formula. All you have to do is multiply your age by your annual income, that's before taxes, and then you just divide the whole thing by 10. This gives you a really rough benchmark of where your net worth should be for someone at your age and income level.
Go ahead, do the math. Are you above that number? You might just be a prodigious accumulator of wealth. Are you below it? You might be an underaccumulator. And hey, listen, this is not a judgment, it's not a grade, it's just a data point. It's your starting line right here today.
I think this is the perfect thought to leave you with. Wherever you are on that scale right now, it doesn't matter how small your savings account is, just remember this. Even the most gigantic oak tree, just like a massive fortune, began with a single, simple acorn.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about trying to become a millionaire overnight. Just focus on today. What is one tiny frugal choice you can make right now? Making coffee at home instead of buying it, packing your lunch for work, canceling one subscription you don't even use. Because that single small choice, that's your acorn. So go plant it.